Okay, this is my third time recording this. The first try I tried to use a script. That didn't work because I didn't like the script. Second try I tried to improvise it, which I ended up talking for too long. So for this third one, it's also an improvisation. I'm going to just go through it as quick as possible. So what are we here for? I am going to rank all of the slimes in Slime Rancher 1 and 2 by how huggable I think they are. Unlike my second attempt, I'm not going to spend too long on all of them. They're all into tiers. The tiers are in order of worst to best. However, I'm not going to list the numbers. So without further ado, let's start from the bottom. In D tier is probably the ones that are going to kill you quite easily, or at least I presume they would. In dead last, we have the glitch slime. The glitch slime I kind of just imagine would be like, you know that effect in There Is No Game when the glitches are released and they corrupt everything? Yeah, I imagine your whole body would just disintegrate. After that in the D tier, we have the tar. Yeah, this one's a bit of an obvious one. I mean, this thing's going to rip you to shreds, and I mean, getting stuck in tar is not particularly fun, so yeah, I don't recommend that one. Next is the tangle slime. This thing is visually appealing, but then you go to hug it, and it will either brutally slaughter you with its vine tentacle things that come out of the ground, or it will gas bomb you because the flower on its head is actually a noxious gas that's full of pollen and will kill anyone with hay fever. Following those two is both the rock and the crystal slime. I put the crystal a little bit high because it's just slightly cuter, but both of them are covered in really painful spikes, and I genuinely feel that you give it one hug and you'll end up with multiple holes in your chest. Maybe a good one-time thing to end your life, but I don't recommend that because you could just not end your life. After that, we have the mosaic slime. It sets things on fire. I don't need to say anymore. Once again, following that, we also have the fire slime, which also sets things on fire, as you'd probably assume. And finishing off the D tier, we will have the boom slime, which explodes. I need not elaborate. Oh, and if you want to know why the boom slime is at the top of the D tier, it's because it would give you the quickest and painfulest death, so it would be an enjoyable hug, but then you'd be blown into smithereens. But at least it would be instant, so you wouldn't feel much. Now we enter the C tier. C tier isn't necessarily things that can kill you. They still can, but it's generally more stuff that you wouldn't really enjoy giving a hug. Bottom of C tier is going to be the flutter slime. This is not because it itself looks unhuggable, but because butterflies are incredibly fragile, and I feel like if you put your arms around this thing, it would probably break into pieces, and I don't think I could live with that kind of guilt. Following that is the quantum slime. If you know anything about Schrodinger's cat, if you try to put your arms around this thing, you'll be both hugging it and not hugging it at the same time, which is kind of like a mental torture, and I don't want to go through that. Alternatively, maybe you can hug it, but then it can just teleport away, so it's kind of pointless. Following that in the C tier will be the hunter slime. It's just the tabby slime, but invisible and really hurts if it bites you. And to end off the C tier will be the rad slime. Now, I'm going to go in a bit detail here. You might be thinking, literal radiation, this is the Chernobyl slime, you're going to turn into a cancerous tumour. Wrong. If you played the game, Beatrix, if you step into the radius as Beatrix multiple times, it only builds up. If you step out, the cancer leaves you. So my conclusion is, as long as you hug it for merely seconds and then step back outside of the radiation, you'll be okay. And just a quick reminder that this is improvised. That's why I might stutter a bit. Alright, now we're entering the B tier. The B tier is stuff that can still kill you, I guess, but it's more that they're just uninteresting to hug rather than dangerous to hug. Breathe. Okay. Bottom of B tier is the Batty slime. I think that's its name. The wiki is very, very incessant that it's not a vampire and won't drink your blood. And because that joke is very, very funny, I'm going to assume it's a vampire and it's going to drink your blood. Other than that, it does look quite visually appealing and I'd give it a hug. Following that is the dervish slime. It creates tornadoes. I don't think anybody wants to be in one, particularly. Following those two is another two, which is the pink and the gold slime. The gold slime's slightly higher purely by shiny factor, but the fact is they're just very standard, so they don't really have any special benefits, but not really any dangers. Just a nice all-rounder. And the top of B tier will be the honey slime. On the surface, the honey slime seems like a good candidate because it's like soft, sweet, lovable. And then you're like, okay, I'm done hugging now. I need to get to work. I need to do my office job. Get off me. Oh my god, get... And it's stuck to you. That you don't want that. It's good for a hug, but I don't think you want to carry it with you everywhere. So that's why it stays in B. Alright, now we're entering the A tier. The A tier is ones that I actually would want to hug. However, I can't say that they're the perfect candidates. Just very good. The bottom of A tier will be the angler slime. This is basically the last one left that's gonna kill you likely. Because, I mean, if you've ever seen an anglerfish in real life, those things are terrifying. Despite that though, the slime replica of the anglerfish is not as terrifying and more cute. And I'd definitely give that a big embrace. Following it is then the ringtail slime. The smug look is enough to make me go, oh, this thing is great. It might steal all of my possessions and leave me homeless, but at least it's still here so I can give it a hug, I guess, and then you die poor. Alright, following that is the twinkle slime. I know nothing about the twinkle slime. I literally only found out when I was researching this that the twinkle slime existed. And I can't really go into much detail. It's like rare or something, but it just looks like a standard slime and it sings a bit, so it's kind of pleasant. After that is the quicksilver slime. The quicksilver slime is fine as long as it's not statically charged. So just don't get electrocuted, and this thing's pretty cool, I guess. And the top of A tier will be the saber slime. Now, I know to some degree they're like found feral, but I'm assuming you have a docile one here. And when docile, the saber slime is quite high on the adorability tier list. However, I did have to take it down from S purely for the slight danger it imposes. Alright, and now we... Give me a breath. This is really improvised, by the way. Like, I'm genuinely making this all up on the spot. I'm somewhat proud of myself so far, but anyway, no more. S tier. The ones that basically mean no harm to you and are just cool and huggable. Alright, bottom of S tier, and taking the cake for Slime Rancher 2 is the cotton slime. It's a rabbit. I mean, I love rabbits. Most people love rabbits. I mean, imagine like a rabbit ball. That's what the cotton slime is. Following it is the puddle slime. Slime Rancher 2 did this slime a bit of an injustice with its portrait. Despite that though, I think that the puddle slime is like one of the cutest in the game. It's kind of like the huggable fire slime, because the fire slime looks nice and warm, but too warm probably. So the puddle's a nice alternative. Alright, after that one we have the phosphor slime. I kind of like to think of the phosphor slime as like a hot water bottle. It's like you give it a little hug when you're lying in bed and like the little lamp inside is nice and warm. That's about all I have to say on that one. Just don't bring it out during the daytime or it disintegrates. And taking the first and second spot, probably quite predictably, is the tabby cat and the lucky slime. The tabby slime and the lucky slime. This was a bit of a given. This was super obvious from the start. The fact is just, even the game says they're basically like normal house cats. So imagine just a house cat, but literally in the shape of a ball. I have an image to represent it. Like the "oh the misery" image is literally a perfect description of what this slime would be like in real life. And I could not ask for anything more. And Lucky Slime takes first place purely by the fact, well, it brings you some luck. Okay. With that being said. That is me done. I'm gonna inhale a few gigatons of oxygen into my lungs. I don't know how much improvised is enjoyable to listen to, because I feel like my script writing is part of what makes my stuff entertaining. But despite that, I had to do this somehow, and I was finding that writing a script for it was really not that interesting as I repeated myself a lot. Which I probably am doing now as well. Just this time, I don't realise it, so it's not my problem. Anyway, I like to end my my vids off with a nice moral of the video, which I can't really think of one here. Well, I can, but it doesn't really fit too well. So, to conclude, everything in the slime... No. There are a lot of things in the Slime Rancher world that are huggable, and as much as you'd love to, they are virtual. But there's one thing you can do: find the things you love in the real world and give them a big hug, because you don't know when you won't be able to, so cherish the moment while you can. Thank you.